Moving to Spain is the best decision that I ever made. But in this video, we're going to discuss why you should not move here, because Spain is not for everyone. The first reason why you should not move to Spain is if you are a person that's very, very shy or introverted, and you really don't like people that much.
I don't have the energy for you today.
If you are a person that likes to stay inside, or you like hobbies that is kind of just for one person, like watching TV or gaming and scrolling on your phone and stuff like that, then maybe Spain is not the place for you. Spain is very, very social. People love to go out here. People love to go out to dinners and cafes, and they like to kind of socialize all the time. And also because of the weather is so much better and there's so much sun down here, people are outside all the time. And especially if you are coming to this country, or you're moving to this country, or you're going to stay here for quite some time, it's very important that you try to be social, try to integrate into society. Spain can be a lonely place, especially if you come here on your own and you don't have any family or friends coming along for the journey with you. It can be quite a lonely place. It's not that easy to get new friends. I've lived in Spain in total for many years in my life, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, and a lot of them, they just can't adapt to the Spanish way of living, the Spanish society, and they are maybe a little bit shy, maybe a little bit introverted, and their comfort zone is very, very small, and they miss their friends, they miss their family, and they miss the people that they feel very comfortable with and safe around. And when you come to a new country and a new place with a new language and a new culture and all these things, if you are not a person that wants a new adventure, wants to try something else, wants to learn new stuff and try new stuff, then maybe Spain is not for you. The second reason why you should not move to Spain is that if you don't want to learn the Spanish language, it's maybe not the best country for you. I know that there is a lot of people who want to retire in Spain and they don't speak any Spanish, and they want to live here for an extended period of time and they don't speak any Spanish. But I would say that if you are moving to a new country, you should try to integrate into that society. You should try to learn their language. It's a sign of respect. You don't have to learn everything. You don't have to be fluent. You don't have to be any of those things. But if you just learn the basics, it would be much easier for you to live here. You would feel, Spain will feel a lot more like a home to you. The Spanish people will respect you more. People will be more friendly towards you because you speak their language. And it's just, if you start with the basic words, just hello and goodbye and what does this cost, and you learn kind of to order food or drinks in Spanish. If you just start to learn the basic that you need down here, you will feel much more welcome and you will feel much more home. I know that a lot of people, when they come to Spain, they know a long time in advance that they are coming here. So maybe they know that, okay, I'm moving to Spain in 6 months or 12 months or next year. I will recommend to start to learn a little bit of Spanish before you come here. There's a lot of good apps now. You can use artificial intelligence, you can use ChatGPT, you can use like Google Translate, and there's a lot of good apps like Duolingo and a lot of other apps as well. That is very easy to learn the basics, learn a few words, learn a few sentences. And you can start already now if you know that you want to move to Spain sometime in the future or sometime in the near future, maybe in 6 months. A lot of people are probably considering to move to Spain in 2026, and start to learn a little bit of Spanish now, and you will thank me when you get here. The next reason why you should not come to Spain is if you don't like the quiet life and the mañana culture. By mañana culture, I mean that everything is very, very slow down here in Spain. I come from Norway, and people who come from Scandinavia especially, we are used to having everything is organized. There's a lot of structure. We live in a very high-paced environment, high-paced country. And down here, it's very, very chill. People are way more relaxed. Things take a lot more time. We don't have the same urgency. And I think it's a very, very good thing because we need to stress down. We need to focus on other things than just working and working and always be on time and always have this structure, and everything needs to be planned out in our lives. But it takes a little bit of time to get used to. But I always tell people when they come down here, if they are complaining about everything is so slow, and I just tell them that once you kind of get adapted to that, once you start to understand that that is a better way of living, and you give it a few months or 6 months or a year, you will really appreciate that way of living, or most people will. But also you have the bureaucracy with the papers and stuff like that. Things can take forever. The Spanish bureaucracy is a nightmare. A lot of Spaniards, they say that everything is very easy and everything is digitalized, and once you have the digital certificate, everything is easy. Okay, maybe for a Spanish person, but if you come here and you don't speak the language, and you come into government offices and public offices and they don't speak any English, and all the papers that you are needing to fill out is in Spanish, and they don't want to speak any English. Some of them, they can't speak English. Some of them, they don't want to speak English. And it's not easy at all. So if you don't like the slow-paced country, slow-paced days, slow-paced environment, then Spain might not be for you. Maybe you should move to London or New York or somewhere where it's like... Down here, it's chill. The next reason why you should not move to Spain is the summer heat. If you are planning to come to Spain and you're planning to stay here for 12 months, the entire year, you have to know that there is at least 4 months in the summer where it's very, very hot. It's somewhere between 30 and 40 degrees, depending on each summer, but it's very, very hot. A lot of people choose to come to Spain and they live in Spain maybe like 8 months, and they stay in their home country for maybe 4 months. This is not something that everyone can do. Not everyone can afford to have maybe an apartment in Spain and an apartment in their own country. So if this is something that you cannot afford, you're coming here to stay for the entire 12 months, you need to understand how hot it is in the summer. It's okay to have 35 degrees if you're coming on holiday for a week and you're just lying on the beach and relaxing and chilling. But when you have it over a period of time, when you come into the third month of 35 degrees, you're starting to get a little bit exhausted. You're starting to get sick and tired of the sun, and you're sick and tired of sweating all the time, and you're not having any energy to do something or to do anything. So it's something that you need to consider. If you don't like the heat, maybe Spain is not for you. Having said that, you will also adapt. You will adapt to the heat. You will learn how to, the body will regulate itself. So it's not the same as you coming on holiday, because your body will learn how to cope with the heat. But if you are very sensitive to the heat, then maybe Spain is not for you. The next reason why you should not move to Spain is career opportunities. The jobs down here are getting fewer and fewer. It's harder and harder to get a job down here. And now with artificial intelligence and stuff like that as well, a lot of these jobs, that is office jobs, computer jobs, and maybe like sales and marketing and social media, and jobs involving like customer service and stuff like that. All of these jobs, they will disappear over the next coming years. Artificial intelligence is taking a lot of the jobs, and there will be a big problem. Already now, it's very, very hard to get a job. And if you get a job, I can guarantee you that it's not very good salaries. There is a few low-income jobs. So unless you have some kind of a remote job, or you are working for yourself as an entrepreneur, or you have your own business, or you can work in an international company remotely or something like that. If you come down here If you go to look for a Spanish job or an international job down here, it's very, very hard. The salaries are very bad. So unless you have a good plan, you cannot expect to get rich or have a very good salary down here unless you are working for yourself somehow. And this will only be worse. Over the next coming 5 years, all of these computer jobs will be gone because artificial intelligence will take all of them. Spain is really, really amazing, but it's not for everyone. And if you can't handle the pace and the culture and the reality behind the sunshine, this country will frustrate you more than it gives you.